Okay, great.
All
Do
right,
I
so
look all right?
you look fantastic.
Okay.
Ready? So, Miss Morency,
Yes.
who is one teacher who influenced you growing up?
I had many teachers that influenced me when I was growing up. One that comes to mind was my second grade teacher, Mrs. Wood. Her influence on me was she taught me how to be what people might call a brown noser or a kiss up. She was very, very, very stern. Short woman, short white hair, and nasty as the day is long. And I perfected my skills on how to get along with every teacher in second grade. That was very helpful and has been ever since. My other teachers who had even more impact, my favorite teacher was my fifth grade teacher, Mr. McNeil, and he was just a rock star. He made school so much fun, and we would laugh, and he would do silly, crazy things. He would make mistakes, and he would just laugh at them, and then we would all laugh, and then we'd move on. And he and my 10th grade biology teacher, Mr. French, he also taught me how to laugh and just laugh at ourselves. We all make mistakes. In teaching, we're going to make mistakes. We laugh. You got to be able to laugh at yourself. If people can't laugh at themselves, then it's going to be a rough life. But those two were just wonderful. And I do have one story about Mr. French. It's perfect. He was telling us one day in class how he had done this lecture for 60 to 70 kids, and he was the only person up front, and he was standing there and he's lecturing, and all these kids are giggling, and he didn't know why, and he's just standing there, and for 10 minutes everyone's giggling, and then all of a sudden the kid held up a sign that said, "Your zipper's down." And he looked down and he said, "I turned bright purple and I went out of the room and I was dying and I zipped up my pants and I went back in and I just kept going." He goes, "And then I laughed later." And so, no lie, a week later, we're sitting in class and I look up and I was in the front row and his zipper was down, and I thought, oh my God, his zipper's down. So, of course, instead of telling him, I whispered it to my lab partner. And so she kind of giggled. Then we turned around and told the people behind us, and it went all the way around the room. And then the kid at the end holds up a sign and says, "Your zipper's down." And it was the funniest thing. His whole face turns purple. Again, he walked out of his room, zipped up the pants, came back, and then we all just burst out laughing, and he was dying because it was so funny, because he had just told the story. But I love that he could laugh at it because it was perfect, and it taught me how to laugh at myself, like when I fell in front of my child development class and tripped over the rug and went down like a load of bricks. We laughed.
So, what would you say the best lesson that Mr. McNally?
No, Mr. McNeil.
So, what would you say the best lesson that Mr. McNeil and Mr. French taught you was?
They taught me that to take life seriously, but not to take yourself too seriously, and that enjoy what's going on now because you don't get to do it forever. Especially like Mr. French I had in high school, and I know kids would come in and they'd say things like, "Oh, I can't believe I got to do this for 3 more years," or whatever. And I remember him saying to us, "No, you only get to do this for 3 more years. And then you're out on your own." And he goes, "You should enjoy it now," which is so true. And that's the one thing I feel bad about for kids who have that attitude that, "Oh, I got 4 years of high school." You only get 4 years of high school. You get 4 more summers off. Unless you go to college, then you might have summer, but you're going to have to work. Most of you will work during that summer. That's it. And this is the time where you can be goofy and do stupid things, and there's going to be people who care about you and don't want, they're going to be there to pick you up if you do something stupid. And you can enjoy your youth. It goes so fast. Take it from me, I'm getting very old now.
So, if they were here today, what would you do to show your gratitude or thank them?
First of all, I would probably get fangirl giddy, because I've seen them out and about, and I look at them and I'm like, "Oh my God, there's Mr. McNeil. Oh my God, there's Mr. French. They were my teacher." And then I would want to throw them a parade because I thought they were just wonderful human beings. They listened, they had fun, but they made school fun, and they taught. And I just loved them, and they deserve a parade. That's what I want to give them.